The Tampa Electric Manatee Viewing Center in Apollo Beach is one of the most surprising places in Florida to see manatees. It's a mix of boardwalks, observation platforms, nature trails, and coastal views, all built around a warm water refuge that draws manatees in large numbers. We honestly didn't know what to expect when we arrived, and we were surprised by how much there is to see and do here. It's much more than just an observation deck. In this video, we'll walk you through everything the Manatee Viewing Center has to offer so you know exactly what to look for during your visit. The Tampa Electric Manatee Viewing Center is located in Apollo Beach, Florida, right next to the Big Bend Power Station. The center is only open seasonally during manatee season, which runs from November 1st through April 15th. It's open every day from 10 in the morning until 5 in the afternoon, except for Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. One of the best parts about visiting is that it's completely free. Both parking and entry are included, which makes this a great budget-friendly stop for anyone in the Tampa Bay area. The center even earned national recognition when it was voted the #2 free attraction in the country in USA Today's Reader's Choice Travel Awards in 2023. Manatees have been gathering at the plant's warm water discharge since the early 70s. The viewing center officially opened in 1986 after people began noticing how reliably the manatees returned each winter. It has continued to grow and improve over the years, and in 2023 it received a major update with new viewing platforms and a refreshed education center. The main area that you'll want to see first is the set of viewing platforms along the warm water outflow. This is where you'll get the best view of the manatees, and it's usually the busiest part of the center, especially on the cold days. The boardwalk wraps around the edge of the canal and gives you a clear look down into the water with plenty of spots to stop and take photos. The Big Bend Power Station pulls in water from Tampa Bay to cool its equipment, then releases that clean, warmed-up water back into the bay. During the winter, when the surrounding water temperatures drop below what the manatees can tolerate, they head straight for this warm outflow. On chilly mornings, you can often see dozens of them all huddled together in the heated waters. The viewing platform sits right above the outflow, so even though the water isn't crystal clear like a spring, you'll still get great views of manatees rolling and gliding through the canal.
Little nugget. It's just a little nugget. Little baby potato.
During our visit, we saw hundreds of manatees in the water in this area. One of the staff members mentioned that there was over 300 manatees in the refuge while we were there. Along the walkway, there are informational signs that explain the warm water process and highlight the wildlife you might see. Staff members are also stationed at each platform to answer questions and share more about the manatees and their behaviors. At the information station, you'll find displays about some of the individual manatees that frequent the power plant. Many of them have unique scar patterns on their backs, which researchers use to identify them and track how often they return. That was amazing. We weren't quite sure there was going to be manatees here, but there were hundreds of them. So we're going to go check out a couple of the other platforms and see if we can see some more. Another area that you'll want to explore is the Tidal Walk, which stretches 900 feet through a dense mangrove forest. The entire walkway along the viewing platforms are fully ADA compliant and wheelchair friendly. And it's actually a featured stop along the Great Florida Birding Trail, so keep an eye out for coastal birds as you make your way through. The boardwalk winds through a thick tunnel of red, white, and black mangroves, and there are signs along the way to help you tell them apart. You'll also see plenty of native coastal plants and trees, and depending on the day, you might spot some local wildlife like snakes, crabs, or wading birds tucked into the roots. At the end of the walkway, you'll reach Pelican Point, where a series of platforms extend out into the canal. This area gives you a different perspective from the main viewing decks, and the wildlife here can be completely different. During our visit, the water was full of sharks cruising along below the decks. We weren't expecting to see that many, but it made this section one of the highlights of the day. There are a few more areas around the Manatee Viewing Center that are worth checking out while you're here. One of the first things that you'll pass is the Butterfly Garden. It's a small, peaceful spot filled with native plants that attract a variety of butterflies, and it's a nice little break from the boardwalks and viewing platforms. Right next to it are the touch tanks. These are usually home to stingrays and other coastal species, but during our visit they were closed off and they looked like they were undergoing some renovations. Hopefully they'll be back open soon because they did seem like a fun stop for families. The South Shore Cafe is also nearby, and we were honestly surprised by how much they had to offer. You'll find a wide variety of food, snacks, drinks, and plenty of ice cream options, and the prices were very reasonable. There's also a gift shop here, and they have a nice variety of souvenirs and plenty of manatee-themed items. We picked up a magnet and an ornament, and I even found a pair of manatee pajamas that I just couldn't pass up. Also, there is an education center located right here next to the cafe that we somehow totally walked right past and missed. So if you want to learn more about manatees, the warm water refuge, or the wildlife in the area, make sure you don't skip it like we did. If you have time, we definitely recommend exploring the Coastal Habitat Trail. Several trails start at the far end of the parking lot, and from there, it's about a 1-mile walk to reach the 50-foot observation tower. It's a flat, easy path, and along the way you'll find informational signs that point out the different plants and wildlife that live in this coastal environment.
This is actually quite a beautiful trail heading up to this observation tower. Definitely a lot of greenery. Of course, with the power plant behind you.
As you get closer to the tower, the trail takes you through a thick mangrove forest. And we saw tons of crabs climbing around in the mangrove roots and branches. If you walk slowly and look closely, you'll spot a ton of movement in the trees.
See ya. There's just crabs all over the place.
Once you reach the observation tower, you'll find complimentary binoculars available for visitors to use.
You know what? I think I will. I'll borrow some binoculars.
From the top, you'll get a spectacular view of Tampa Bay and the surrounding area of the refuge. And it's a great spot to look for manatees, birds, and other wildlife. There are also several informational signs posted around the tower that explain how impressive the construction really is. One sign explains that this site was originally inaccessible to vehicles, so all of the materials had to be brought in by barge and lifted into place by crane. Another highlights that the tower was engineered to withstand major weather events, with pilings driven more than 30 feet down into the bedrock. And one of the most interesting details is that the roof is actually designed to blow off during a major hurricane to reduce stress on the rest of the structure. It's a fascinating stop, and the views alone make the walk out there worth it.
I have to admit, this place is kind of cool. You don't really think about there being so much to do at a power plant, but I'm pleasantly surprised at how much there is to be able to see here. There's like nature trails and observation towers and all sorts of wildlife. I love when a place like pleasantly surprises me, you know? So we're heading down this blue trail here, which apparently at the end of it has some kind of clean energy demonstration center, so we're gonna go see if it's open.
About half a mile past the observation tower, you'll find the Clean Energy Demonstration Center. It sits right next to the overflow parking lot, so you can either walk there from the tower or loop around by car from the Manatee Center if you prefer. This area focuses on hands-on activities that teach you how different types of energy work. One of the highlights is the geocaching style scavenger hunt, where you can follow clues from sign to sign to learn about energy production along the way. There are also interactive stations where you and your friends can pedal to power devices, which gives you a good sense of how much energy it takes to create electricity. You'll also find displays that explain how solar panels store energy using flow batteries and supercapacitors. One of the coolest things here is the Smart Flower. It's a large solar flower that opens up during the day and turns to follow the sun just like a sunflower. By adjusting its angle throughout the day, it captures as much energy as possible. When the winds get too strong or when the night falls, the petals fold up to protect themselves, then reopen when conditions improve. Before we wrap up, we wanted to mention a few things that we didn't find out until after we got home. When we looked back at the map, we realized that the Manatee Viewing Center connects to an entire conservation campus that we somehow missed. From the overflow parking lot, there's a free shuttle tram that takes you to the conservation campus. This area is home to the Florida Aquarium's Sea Turtle Rehabilitation Center, the aquarium's Coral Conservation Center, the Fish Hatchery, and the Youth Conservation Center. All of these are open to the public during the same seasonal window as the Manatee Viewing Center from November through April. We didn't know about any of this during our visit because there wasn't much signage or information pointing guests towards the shuttle or explaining what else is available beyond the main viewing areas. So if you have extra time and want to see even more, make sure to take the shuttle at the second parking lot and explore the full conservation campus. It looks like there's a lot more there that we definitely need to check out the next time we visit. If you found this information helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you don't want to miss any of our upcoming adventures. And a huge shout out to our channel members for supporting the channel. You help make videos like this possible. If you want to see what it's actually like to get out on the water with these gentle giants, then check out our video on kayaking with manatees in Crystal River with Get Up and Go Kayaking in the video that just popped up on the screen. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.